Cool.
Hi, welcome to Wednesday. I've been wandering around the shop looking for a daily deal. I couldn't find one. I will do better tomorrow. I'll probably ask Sarah what she thinks. The scrap bag sold so well that we're low on scraps, which is like, woo! We've had nothing new in that we can show you. The only stuff we've had in has been for Hachanda. However, the new June Taylor item is amazing. It looks so good. I can't wait to have a play with that. So I'm sure you'll hear more about that as we go on. But other than doing up orders, it's been quite an uneventful morning. So today it's block of the week. Now, it's a half square triangle block, okay? And depending on what size block square you use, depends on what size the block comes out. So you could use a 10-inch square to do this block, and it would make the middle of a quilt. The 5-inch square will make a table runner, and the 2.5-inch square will make a table mat. So you could add to it. I wouldn't suggest the 2.5-inch square, really, because it just took so much cutting and stuff. I went for the 2.5 because I measured out and thought, it's going to be this big. I don't use table runners, so I didn't know whether I wanted that. I might make mine into the middle of like a baby quilt, because we're going to do it in 5 inches. But this one I made up into a mat. I love this fabric. This was a Littendale fabric, I think. And it was just lovely, all bunnies. You'll see my machine covers and stuff were all made in it. So we're going to go through this, okay? I'm going to show you how to do a half square triangle. However, most of you must know how to do that by now. And also this half square quarter triangle-y thing that's here. And then we're going to lay it out. So we'll go through that with you. Anybody there? Am I talking to myself, or we?
No, we got people.
We got people.
We got hellos from Grace, Jan, Caroline,
Jen
Catherine.
Edwards. Did she make it?
No, Jan Brody.
Hi, Jen.
A bunch of other people. I'd have to scroll all the way up.
Oh, there's a lot of people there. So, welcome to Wednesday. So we're going to go through this. However, there is something I want to show you that I heard on one of these. You know, when you watch all these quilting things on YouTube and that, I heard this thing in the background. It was running somewhere, and I don't even know who it was or what it was. Your pick, right? Your unpicker. You've got a red ball on there. Okay, can you see that? Is it? You see now, nearly all of them have a red ball. Okay, so I always thought it was so that you didn't put the sharp bit into your fabric. However, I overheard somebody say that if you rub, you know, when you unpick something, right? So you unpick it. I always put so that the red ball is on the inside, so that if the Sharpie bit does go in, it's going in into the seam allowance. But come down from by there to by here. Right, can you see all the little holes? Now you lot might know this, but it was like new to me, and it was a wow moment. See all these little holes that have been left? If you rub the red ball on there, like that, can you see them disappearing? Does that show up, Alex?
Yeah.
Can you see? And they just disappear. I was absolutely wowed, gobsmacked. My smack was gobbed. See? Look at that. And it takes away all the little holes, as if they weren't there, almost. And then squirt starch spray and iron that, and the holes will be gone. I was like, wow, 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 wow. So there's my tip for this week. My tip for this week is red balls. So, right. I decided I was going to make it in the 2.5 because I had a white jelly roll strips already cut. So I thought, that's okay. I can cut a few of these. Now you need a strip because you can't use you can't use a charm pack because you wouldn't get the effect. Okay, so it has to be with the fabric strip, or if you're using 2.5, a jelly roll strip will do. So if you've got like 3 left over, then try that. Before I start wittering on again anymore, is there any questions, or are they as wowed as me about the little red ball?
There are a lot of wild people.
It's just like, wow. I actually unpicked a load last night just to use the little red ball. Right, okay. I started off, I wanted to do it in red and blue, okay? I did all my half square triangles. I was chain piecing, cutting them up, went to iron them out and realised that I'd sewn them all on the wrong side. Okay, so I had to cut them all over again, and I didn't have enough of this fabric to do it again. And if you thought I was going to undo all the triangles and redo those, maybe, but really I'm just going to lob them probably. So I cut out all these. Now if you use the 2.5, you have to, once you've made your half square triangles, you have to cut them down to 2 inch. So your finished square actually only measures 1.5 inches. Okay, you cut that down to the 2 inch, and then of course you're going to lose your 1/4 of an inch on either side, so it comes to the 1.5. I went for a charm pack for my plains. Okay, so I had a charm pack, and you need a 5 inch strip. I wrote it down there. You need a 5 inch strip with the fabric. You need 1 strip for each of these coloured pieces, and you need 2 strips. If you're cutting it straight from the fabric, 2 strips for your background, okay, with the fabric on a 5. Okay, so I don't know whether you all remember how to make half square triangles the easy way. Where am I putting that? Put that down there. You can have another look at it later. Okay, so I've got my squares. Okay, and I've drawn a line diagonally from top left to bottom right. I always do it that way. There's no particular reason why you do. You could go that way, okay. But yeah, diagonal. Now I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch from that line on both sides. Okay, so we're going over by here. So where's the 1/4 inch on this one? It is, I want to move it that way, so it's 29. It's different on mine, as we said before.
Do you
Okay.
want to? Yeah.
Is that what you were going to ask me? See, I can read his mind now. Okay, so I'm putting the edge of my foot. It's easier to use your normal foot than it is the one with the bar. And I'm just going to sew 1/4 inch down each side. Anything there, Alex?
Linda said, talking about all the squares you mis-sewed, unpick, then good excuse to practice your red ball.
What, rub my red balls? So, yeah. If there were a bigger piece of fabric, I might do. I'd like to try this with the 10-inch square, but Alex is there grinning. I don't know what you're all saying to him.
Nothing.
Nothing? Right, okay. I'm now going to cut on that red line, okay? The line that I've drawn. If I cut it this way. Now, I'm using batiks. 2 reasons. One, there is no right way or wrong way for most batiks. They look the same, and I'm a great one for getting it wrong. But this way, I get to use batiks. No, there is no more to that. So you're going to open it out, and you're going to iron to the dark side. Okay. Now I'm halfway through writing all these instructions down. I just needed to go to sleep last night after certain time. Sorry, Alex. I'm terrible for bringing it back to me. Right, so we now need to make one of these. Okay, we now need to make this. So I can see that I need to have it sat like that, okay, and I'm going to put this one over, and I need to sew from this corner to that corner. Now I'm a prime thing for just sewing, but because we're doing it and I haven't brought extras, I'm going to draw in a line. Okay, so I want to go from there to there. Okay, so I like using a charm square because I've got a 4.5 inch square ruler at home, and I love it because when I finish this, you have to cut down to the 4.5, and you just plonk it on and it's done. But we'll show you about trimming them up now. So I'm now going to sew these right sides together along here, and then we're going to cut off. We're going to check that we've got the this coordination. No, coordination. This what's the word? Configuration. I almost had it right. So back over to the sewing machine. Now you don't need to sew this at 1/4 inch. So we're going back to moving the needle. Okay, I know it's a lot of faff.
Leslie asked, how big was the square and what's this called?
It's called a couple of different things on thing. I'm just going to call it the linking block because they link. There was a Stonehenge block. There's a lot out there. It's a Celtic-y knotty type thing. I found another Celtic-y knotty thing that I want to do, but it's probably a bit more elaborate for a 1 o'clock. The size that I'm using at the moment is a 5 inch square, but as long as you use the same size square for everything, you can cut it at 6 3/4 if that's what you want to do. It's just cutting everything the same size. Everything except the other size. We'll go through that in a minute. Right, so I want my block to finish like that. Okay, so I'm now going to cut this bit off. Unfortunately, the bit that's left is not the right way round or big enough for what you want. And I think if you didn't cut it there, I'm not sure it would be the right size. So I'm just going to freehand cut this off, hopefully in the right place. Oh, could have done with going right to the end, but I think I'm on the end there. And then I'm just going to iron it out to the dark side. Now all these bits that are left over, it's like I don't need this one and I don't need this one. I stick them back into my batiks box, and then when I'm doing things that need like a pocket, a small pocket, I would use my orphan blocks. I would probably put a lining on something like that, or put the two together like that, put a line in, bag it out, top stitch it, and I have a long pocket for pens or a ruler on something else that I make. I have a lot of orphan blocks. So where are we? We want that one back. Okay, so we're done with that. That one goes in there. Right, we want to trim this at 4.5. Now I can't see offhand, I can't see Sarah's 4.5 here anywhere. So we're going to do it with this. We're going to trim it at 4.5. Now I would turn this so that my diagonal line lines up with my 45-degree angle. All right. So now we know that we want it within 4.5. So as long as this bottom left-hand corner is within the 4.5, and you still have bits left outside, then you're in the right place. Okay, so I'm going to line that up with that there, like that. I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to trim it. Am I still within camera shot? Ooh,
yeah.
Blade.
Anywhere in the white square.
Anywhere in the white square, well done. Okay, okay, so I've trimmed that one off. So now I know, you see Alex's hand creeping in. So now I know that this is way out of the corner, but it's, you get the picture. I'm not going to use this one, so we'll be all right. So this one now, this corner, I've squared that one up. So I find my 4.5, that's 5.5, 4.5, 4.5, and it must have moved when I was turning it round, because you can see I'm way off the thing. And then we're just going to trim this up as long as it all fits in and we're happy, like that. And I end up with a 4.5-inch block. Okay. You'll see some of them when you start sewing them together. They look as if you've got a bit hanging over, but you've got to remember that you've got your 1/4 inch seam allowance in there. Right. So I don't need that one. Is there anything else that? Is anybody asking anything, other questions before I whicher on somewhere else?
Jean said, love patchwork, and Quoting Magazine has a HST marking template with this month. Handy timing.
Ah, well there we are. I love half square triangles. Just make a load. I mean, make a scrappy one, and you just sort of like, it's almost as if you can throw them up in the air, and where they land, you'll get a pattern. I love the ones where they all go out. There was one on UK Quilters today. I think it was UK Quilters. Somebody had done one and it was done in 3 different fabrics, but it looked really, really good. So it was good. I liked it. I've got patterns to go round in your head. I've got patterns that I save on Pinterest, ones I'm never ever going to get round to, but I do love half square triangle. Right, I'm going to move some of this out the way. Okay. I don't know whether I'm going to need it, but I need the space. All right. So you've made all your half square triangles. Okay. You need to make 8. So you need to put together 4 of your 2 outside ones and 2 of your inside one. And then out of this, you're going to make I'll put up the amounts. I'll type it out onto the thing. I'm not explaining it very well. I'll do it as I go along, all right? Because I'm not quite sure how to explain this now. This fabric here is my B, all right? This is going to be my middle of the chain.
War drums.
Yeah, the drums are out. This is my A, and this is my C. Okay, so this combination with B and A, I need to make 2 of these. Okay, so you can do 1 set of half square triangles, but you'll need 2 squares of the B, of the big one. Because you saw that as we cut it off, it wasn't big enough to make. Which one did I make? The bit that you cut off actually is big enough. No. I suppose you could use it. Yeah, there's about 1/4 inch, so you could use it. Oh, I've got a lot of triangles at home that I never used. So you'll need 2 like this. You need, there's my 2. Look at that. Then you're going to need 2. Which way round is that? You need 2, which has got your B as the small piece and your C as the big piece. You need 2 of those, like that. I'm sure I'm confusing everybody. Oh, I think the others are in the piece I've already sewn together. You need 4 planes. Okay. So I will put up how many you need and a picture. Okay, a link. But I'll finish the pattern and put that up as well. Okay. Any questions? I'm sure I've confused everybody now.
No, not since the half square triangle thing.
Okay, so half of it looks like, you're gonna have to come over here, it's quite big. So half of it looks like that. So we're now going to build the other half. So if I chuck these on the floor, I need those.
How many half square triangles do you need? Leslie asks.
The half square triangles, you need 8 in the outside colours and 4 on the inside colours. And then the inside bit, you need more of the half squares with the medium fabric with the 1/4 square on either side. Okay, so we're going to build it, all right? So I would start with my 2 outsides because I know that they're going to go there. All right. So you're going to put, you need a peak there, and you know that this has to have a peak there. You know that it's going to come across like that. I haven't got the room. There's no room. All this house and no room. Okay, so there we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across and 4 down. All right. Are we all there now, Alex?
Yep.
Yep. So you know that that peak is going to happen, and you know that the peak needs to be mirrored down there. Okay, so we need another one like that. Okay, so we know that that is going to happen there. We need a peak, because there's a peak over here, I need a peak over here. So I'm going to take 2 of these, and you can see that if you put it in that way, you wouldn't get a peak, you get a like a leg, so you know to turn it. All right, or at least you do now. Just keep turning them. Now you could make all sorts of patterns with these now. So we've got more plain half square triangles. Okay, so you've got these. I need to make this a leg. I need to make this. Okay, so I'm going to slot this in. So you just keep turning it until it fits in. All right. Now, even though I've cut these and moved them around, you can see the pattern still works. Right, I've got a square in the middle now. I'm going to recreate this bit, just those 4. And this is where I got confused. Right, I want the large ones will fit in there. Now that's not right. So that would be right there, wouldn't it? No.
Nope. If you keep the white bits to the outsides.
Like that. There you go. This is why I keep him around. So, no. Like that. That's not right.
No, that's the top piece. More towards you.
That one?
Yep. Nope.
No.
That one.
Right, I know these all work. Now you can see. No, that wouldn't go that way. That would go that way.
No, keep rotating.
That way. That one goes in there. So I need to fit that one in there. Haha! Look at that. And that one in there. No.
White bit on the outside.
Like that?
There you go.
Does that look right?
Yep.
If in doubt, squint at it. So you can see how they all go together. Now, you'll see that as you sew them together, it's going to get shorter. You know that because you're taking the seams down. So you would then just take 2, put them together. Now you can pin them or freehand them. Okay, so I want to now make sure that I've picked them up correctly. Yes, I'm going to sew down there. All right. This is what happens if you do them too many at once. So back to the machine. Make sure I've got my 1/4 inch on, and I'm going to sew down there. Okay, any questions?
Not in the way of questions, but there's a lot of looks fab, looking good.
It does, doesn't it?
It's
It looks
lovely.
really, love it. Like I say, I'd like to see it done in 10-inch squares. Okay, so I'm putting that back there. so I know that that's in the right place. So I would then just pick up these two on each line and sew those together and iron them out. Then I would pick up these, sew them together, iron them out, put these two together like that, and then put my rows together. And then once all that is done, I would then join them here in the middle. So, any questions? You don't need to see me doing the seams. You get that, and you end up with this. How pretty is that?
Karen says, wow, instructions are very good. What do they call this part again?
I'm calling it the linking block. I did find it on Pinterest under Stonehenge block. It will be a Celtic knot. If you put in linking half square triangle block, this would probably come up. Or put in the Stonehenge block, and I got it off Pinterest, so have a look on there. I will put a picture. I've done a had to go on paint. It looks like I've sewn it a little bit wobbly in one place, but I'll put the picture up so you've got a map, and you can work that out. I'll try and put it all together. Anyway, how's that? Tomorrow we're doing a neck pillow. It was really cool, and it's so fast. You wait until you see it tomorrow. It's really, really quick. So I really enjoyed doing that. Make sure you've got a lot of stuff in though. Okay, you'll need stuff in for this one. Anything else, Alex?
I can't remember if I asked or said earlier, how many half square triangles?
How many half square triangles? You need 8 for fabric A, 4 for fabric B, and 8 for fabric C. And then these little ones here, you're going to need 2 of each. So you're going to need to sew together you see I've got 7 written there. I made it that I needed 8. Oh, so I sewed 4. You've got to sew 7 half square units. Where you put your coloured and your white on top, draw the line and sew on both sides so you get 2 half square triangle units. You need to make 7 of those. Okay, that doesn't seem right. You wouldn't believe how many times I counted it last night. Alex is there counting for me. So yeah, so you need 1, 2, 3, 4, which makes 8. Yeah, 4 full ones, it makes 8. But then you need to make 1 there, which makes 9, and then you need those 2 things. So you've got to do 7 squares and then make your half square triangles. I'll write it all out for you. Maths is, that's why I keep Sarah around. It's not as if she's useful for anything else. As if. Right, okay, I'm going because I'm confused now and I'm getting a bit hungry. So I'm going to Tesco's to get some food. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll go through the video later and answer any questions if Sarah hasn't had a chance to answer them already. I don't know, is your mum there?
I think she was.
No. So she's busy working on the computer. Like that. I'll see you tomorrow. Ta-ra.